Alright guys, I am in an odd place for filming, but this is what I got right now. We have Ravencrest for February, even though we just did Ravencrest for January. Can sort of get a sense from the size of the packaging here that we've got a fixed blade for February. We've seen the Black Mamba here. It's been featured in a few different videos by Off-Grid Knives. I did a whole review. This was a sample when it was pre-production sent to me by Carrie, the owner of Off-Grid Knives, and since he's so super awesome, he let me keep it because I loved it so much. It was in my DocP's EDC kind of lineup video. Well, this thing is now available from Off-Grid Knives, so you can, you know, everybody was asking when is it finally going to be out, like for production and stuff, so you can get your very own awesome knife. Love it. We're going to use it for the unboxing today. The enveloping, I guess. Aw, disappointment face. We got that really nice. So the knife that was all delayed and the disastrous logistics came with a nice new box, and we're back to the old box for this one. So I guess it's a toss-up. What's going to happen? Pretty light, by the way. Guess it's a big toss-up for what's going to happen with the March box. But yeah, so typically fixed blade size box, right? Let's see what we've got in here. And we've got, okay, Alright, fuck this, I'm out. Just kidding. So, alright, this is, I'll be honest guys, I was hoping, I was expecting that after the, you know, ridiculousness of last month, there'd be like a big, they'd try to make up for it with like, okay, let's give them a big wow factor in the February knife. You know what this looks like to me? Just initial impressions. We didn't have time to finish the knife. Let's just put some 550 cord on it and send it out. That's what it looks like to me. Now, I'm all for the rustic kind of look. You know what this looks like? It looks like it was made and there's just like inclusions and stuff, like it was forged. Like I get what they're going for. They're looking for like a hand forged look, but like you know, but there's like inclusions in the metal, and that's cool to a point. Now, there's no steel markings on this. Everything they give is usually 440C, so we'll just assume that this is too. I don't know. How are you guys feeling about this? Like right out of the package. I don't know. Now, I know how you do this by accident, this look. Where you're, you know, well, you know, I mean, basically when you've got metal and you're forging, and, you know, this is, like I said, an unfinished look. I don't know how they do this on purpose, because I don't think that any of these knives are actually hand forged. I think they're probably all steel billets that are cut and ground and everything, but it's a really, I'd love to know how you finish metal to have that look, because it's actually, I mean, it's like, you can feel it, it's textured in there. But so, okay, this is our third Tanto type shape, and actually I think this looks more a little bit wakizashi, possibly. I mean, I'm just saying from a looks perspective, from the angles on the blade and everything. Although, and like, okay, so this is always, there's always going to be a debate in the comments. Tanto, wakizashi. So did you guys, I don't know if you guys know, there's actually, what determines, you know, between the two is actually, there's an official thing. In actual Japanese blade making, there's a measure of length in Japan, a shaku, or a shaku. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but a shaku is just shy of a foot, and the length in shaku actually determines technically what type of blade that is. I'm not talking about edge geometry or whatever. I'm talking about the name of it. Because there's blade shapes that we, you know, the Tanto blade shape, obviously. But like, if we're gonna decide, like, if we're gonna try to name this thing, you know, Tanto or wakizashi or something like that. An actual blade, Japanese-made blade that is like less than a shaku up to a shaku would technically be considered, you know, in Japanese knife making, tanto, which is a knife size. If it's, you know, 1 to 2 shaku, it would be a short sword. We're talking blade. We're not talking the whole, you know, the whole thing. But that would be like a wakizashi or a kodachi. And then if you have 2 shaku or more, you know, then it would be like a long sword, like a katana. But that's actually, you know, so when people want to debate that, it's not about the looks, it's about the measure of the blade. So technically, I mean, this, regardless of how it looks, would be considered in actual traditional Japanese knife making a tanto. And hold on a sec. So if we want to talk about, you know, 1 shaku being a little less than 12 inches, obviously there's no way that this qualifies. Even if we measure the whole damn knife from tip to pommel here, it's only 9 inches. So this would qualify as tanto, any way you want to look at it. And then somebody's going to debate with me the difference in the pronunciation between tanto and tanto, and I've done research on that too and looked that up too to make sure I'm pronouncing it right. But anyway, I have no idea why we just had to go into all that. But it's a, you know, very obviously thin. Tell you what, now you guys know I get 2 of these per month. So let me take a second to get the other one. So why did I want to do that? Because I want to look at one with the handle wrap on, and I want to look at one of these, and it's interesting. So you can see, by the way, if you look at the finish on these, they're not like cookie cutter. The kind of, you know, faux forged finish is a little bit different from knife to knife. But I want to look at one of these with the wrap on and one of these with the wrap off, so we can take a look at the whole billet itself. I'm not trying to be overly critical with this guy here, but it does look unfinished to me. And luckily, I'm fortunate enough that I can go to work in a place where we finish stuff. Alright, so here is the entire guy. Now, throwing folks, because I'm not a thrower, because, you know, I'm totally inept and clumsy when it comes to stuff like that. What do you think? Could this make a throwing knife? Take that 550 cord wrap, or even if you leave the 550 cord on. Oops. See? There you go. Prove my clumsy point right there. Balance-wise, not too bad. Right about yay at that point. Now, what's kind of cool about this design right here, though, so they've got some pre-drilled holes. If we did want to throw scales on this, it would be remarkably easy to actually take any material we wanted to, and then to find some appropriate pins, you know, or bolts or whatever that fit those sizes. And even because they gave us drilled holes, even if we had to, you know, I don't know how they harden this. I don't know if they harden the entire thing, if they just harden the blade. But I mean, even if we needed to drill a little bit more to widen up, we have mountings like to actually permanently affix scales, which is awesome. So we're not just limited to rewrapping this. So I'm starting to look at this one in a whole new light. I feel like this one is almost a great basis for sort of a do-it-yourself Ravencrest kit. So options, lots of options. As it is, I feel like it's just a little bit too skinny in my hand, not entirely comfortable. That jimping almost starts to get lost under the 550 cord wrap. I was already talking to somebody on the Discord server today who said that theirs was basically a large heavy butter knife. So, well, mine is not butter knife. This actually is pretty nicely finished. At first, when I started running it across the paper, I was about to say, like, oh, I guess mine is too. I couldn't even feel it start cutting into the paper. Couldn't feel it do anything. But it, you know, it was slicing. Okay, so the front angle isn't as good. The belly of the blade here, I can't even, I mean, it just cuts in and I can't really even feel it start slicing. This one here, which ironically, I know they're the same weight. Logically I know that, but somehow this one just feels lighter. Yeah, this one too. very nice. Very nice. Let's see, maybe any problems with the front edge? It's a little bit better done, but it's just such a small little edge, it's hard to get it tracking down the paper. Go for the standards that we always do. So, be interesting to see if the wrap helps with any of these either. So, pull through. Nope. Not very nice. So let's get it. A slice. Yeah, slice is pretty good. Not the cleanest cut in the world, but relatively easy. Okay, pull through. No, not on this one either. But our slice, pretty slicey. Same result though, not the world's cleanest cut. So a little bit more refining on the edge could benefit, but I mean it did the paper pretty good. For just a thicker, more practical type cut, it could use a little bit of work. The weight doesn't feel too bad. You know, I mean it's a nice light knife. It feels awkward with just this wrap here. I don't like it. It feels off. We didn't really like the sheath. So the sheath is incredibly simple. I don't even really feel an insert in there, to tell you the truth. Maybe there's some plastic deep down in there to keep you from cutting it up. But you have a single belt loop over there, snap closure. I mean, and that's it. It's as simple as it gets. I think that this would look very good in, you know what, so I always love to use cobalt, which is that dark metallic look you've seen me do on some things before. I think the whole thing in cobalt would look great. I think a dark green or just a nice black look on it, or even my favorite camouflage overall would look great. There's some things we could do Cerakote to this that would look good. Hydrographics with a really good top coat would look nice. Again, scales, I don't know. We could do scales. We could not do scales. I think scales on this would... I think it would improve the grip. I don't know if putting scales on it and adding weight in certain areas would mess with the balance, though. And again, folks that are good at throwing, you tell me if something like this looks like it would be a good throwing knife, you know, maybe you wouldn't want to mess with that. I'm thinking about moving some jimping up as well, so that if we do put scales on there, and it sort of drives your thumb forward a little bit naturally, you've got that jimping there to rest your thumb on. And maybe enlarging that choil just a little tiny bit. But, overall, I don't know. You know, I'm not as disappointed. Now that I'm looking at all the possibilities that it has, not as disappointed as when I first just looked at it. When I first took it out of the box, I was like, you've got to be kidding me. Because like I said, I wanted something that had a really good, like, we're sorry last month's knife got so screwed up. There's two ways to look at it, and I was debating this in the comments section too, with somebody that I can tell really likes Ravencrest. And I like this subscription, guys. I do. I think that for the money that you pay, this is a great subscription. I don't think I would ever pay the money for these knives once they're on the website, but for the money you pay for the subscription, they're great. But he was all about defending them, saying, well, there's no way they had any control or knowledge of the government shutdown. And my argument was, maybe not, but it also showed that it never occurred to them that there could be any supply chain problems. And, you know, it should be all about, our customers are important, let's have a contingency, like maybe you have 1 or 2 months worth of product in the warehouse so that if there is a problem, you're not scrambling. You have one extra month. You're like, hey, no problem, guys. Customs all shut down, but you know what? We got you guys taken care of because we have this knife we've been holding in reserve. And then for the next month, instead of importing one knife, you import 2. One to send out and then 1 more to go on that shelf in case anything happens. But anyway, it's a $17 a month subscription. $9 for the knife, $6, $7, $8 for the shipping. And, you know, for a lot of folks, that's like, oh, whatever, you know. But you got to remember, for some people, that's $17 that they could have put towards something else. You know, just because one person says, well, it's not even that much. Well, that's your point of view. My point of view is, and working with customers and doing custom stuff, it's the customer's money. It's not my money to say it's not a big deal. Or, you know, it's the customer's time. It's not my time to play with and say it's not a big deal that they had to wait. Or it's not my fault. It's my fault if I haven't planned for ways to mitigate any problems that could come up. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. My point is I like Ravencrest. I do. I would have hoped and I would have thought that they would have come up with a real big, look how we can make up for screw-ups and show you guys that we value you as customers. And I feel like they failed to do that this month. And I was very disappointed opening this up. But I think that there are some cool things that we can do with this as sort of a semi-blank canvas to work with. So you can expect to see that video pretty soon. And depending on the price of how much these things are when they hit the Ravencrest store. Now, you know, like I said, the monthly subscription is, you know, $9.99 plus shipping. They usually jack these things up to 3 or 4 times that price when they put them online. I'll see how much they end up being. They're not online right now when I'm doing the video. So all the measurements you see and everything, the weight I'll put on a scale, but, you know, all the other measurements are by this, and I'm assuming it's 440C steel because all the other ones are. If they're reasonably priced, I might pick up, you know, a couple others, see what else we can do with them. Try one with some other interesting 550 cord wraps, and then maybe with some scales also, just to, you know, see where we can go with it. But I have no intent in dropping my Ravencrest subscription though. I have been much more happy with them overall than disappointed. Much higher ratio to being very pleased with what they've got for this subscription price and being disappointed. So what do you guys think? Is anybody, I'd like to know this first, anybody really excited by this one? Honestly. Anybody, like, look at this and go like, hey, damn, that's sweet. I would love that. That's awesome. And, you know, why? Anybody else feel like they sort of maybe owed us a blockbuster of a knife for this month? And feel a little bit let down? Anybody just like, nah, don't care. It's another knife, whatever. Or anybody have any cool ideas you want to share for what we can do with something like this at Patriot Armory and Coatings? You know, stuff that we can do to remodel this. The floor is now yours in the comment section. I don't know if the giveaway video has been posted. If it has, it's been like by just a day. And if it's not, you'll see it posted in just a day or so. So hopefully you guys are enjoying looking at the 134 different prizes I have up for grabs. Be very excited that you're about to look at 134 different prizes up for grabs. But that video, if it's not posted, will be posted really soon. Check out the links in all the video descriptions, especially Discord. Join the Discord group, guys, because that's the best place to ask all your questions once the giveaway is going, if you have any questions about anything. Think about joining the Patreon team and helping out there, because there are benefits, some of which directly go towards this giveaway and everything. Check out the Facebook page. Contact me there if you need to. Email addresses, contact me there. A lot of you guys have been pushing me to get an Amazon influencer page. And so I've got that going now too. And we'll talk about that more in future videos and stuff. But anyway, I'm really, really curious to hear everybody's opinion on these knives though. I really am. I want to see what people think about this. So, go. Alright guys. So as you're typing up all your stuff and, you know, we all talk about it, please keep in mind, and don't ever forget, that you are all absolutely awesome. I appreciate every single one of you, and I will be back again real soon.